Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Crusty Crystals. I'm Thomas Dale here at Florid Media. So excited to have you back. We're getting a little vibe going. We're figuring it out. Thanks for joining us. Um, Last week we spoke about awakening. We spoke about body, mind, soul alignment. This week I want to continue a little bit more on the awakening vibe because it's such a big deal, but also about breaking habits. I think that that's a big part of the awakening. I think that when you awaken, you start to realize that the habits you have don't serve you anymore. You start to realize that the habits you have are your old self, the self that you're shedding. That's a thing too, they say too. It's like when you're like, so there's the 3D and the 5D. I'm still really learning a lot about that. The 5D is like where I believe it is part of like where you could use your powers. Like I think a lot of us have these like certain type. It's like we're all Avengers basically. Like we all have something that is cosmic or mystical or, special to your soul. Like I know someone who can see colors around people, not just aura. Like they literally see like a color that's attached to the person. Like I said, not like an aura thing. It's just like a specific color to them. I know someone who can smell cancer on people, like say they can smell it. And I'm like, what? So I was like, smell me. Like I remember, oh my God, I thought I didn't realize I didn't know that dogs had to be trained to smell cancer. Like they'll show them cancer and make them learn with the smell. And then they can smell it. Like I just thought every dog can just smell it. So like anytime a dog would be like so attached to me or like be near me, I was like, oh my God, he smells cancer. Like my friend Jessie May, she was like, my dog can't even smell cupcakes, let alone cancer. Don't worry, Thomas, you're fine, But yeah, I'm a hypochondriac. I I've gotten a lot better in this journey. Like I've truly gotten a lot better, but I used to, because I'm so sensitive and I feel everything and my senses are all in tune. So like for myself, like I said before, the reader can't read, I can't read myself, Yes, I can follow my intuition. And a lot of times I'm not even following my own intuition. My spirit guides are just guiding me. They're just putting me in positions. For me, it's about acknowledging when it's from spirit, when it's a sign. But yeah, I'm a hypochondriac. Like I'm always, oh my God, this is wrong. That's what, like, God forbid I feel like a rough patch or something, or like, oh my God, what is that? And then I have learned, and I'll tell you, this is going to save all of you. Stop Googling symptoms. I promise you, Google will always bring you to the worst case scenario. I have been down that gauntlet. There was a period when I came off of, I'm completely off pharmaceuticals. So it's been 4.5 years now. The past 4 years, I would say, was my journey of coming off pharmaceuticals. I'm going to note, obviously, if you need medication, you should take your medication. But I just was, I went down the whole thing with the psych meds, with the Zoloft, the anti-anxiety pills, the sleeping pill, this, that, because when you're an activated being, when you have all these abilities and senses and sensitivities, yeah, you're going to be feeling a lot of shit, But numbing it with medications and throwing chemicals at it, that's not the answer for me. Like I said, I'm not here to tell you, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not here to tell you what you should do with your medicines. But for me, they were ruining my brain because I didn't need them. I needed maybe just, I was a young gay kid. I needed someone to just talk to about it and figure it out and like work through shit. But anyway, that's what the pills do for me. So I came off them. That was part of my journey. Coming off those, it was not easy. I will say that if anyone is thinking of coming off like any kind of SSRI or any kind of thing, do it very slowly. Do it so slowly. Work with a practitioner on it. Do not just cold turkey it because it's a lot. Do it slowly. That's all I would suggest if you're thinking of coming off them. But don't just stop. It's a lot. It's very hard on your body, like your nervous system to just stop like that. But yeah, you have to do what's right for you. You have to figure it out. Some people, medications are great. They work great for them. They don't, and they even say it's only like, I saw a statistic where it said it's only 36% of people that have a tough time with SSRIs or any type of anti-anxiety pill, like coming off. So everybody's body is different. So you have to figure out what your journey is, what works for you. For me, I wanted to be clear of pharmaceuticals. I didn't want them in my body anymore. So, but meanwhile, I'm shoving sugar and shit down my throat, so it's like, hello, you got to You're not always on the complete righteous path, but I try. I used to smoke a lot of weed, quit that, Now I take a little gummy, but even that I have to stop. Like I want to be completely clear. But yeah, no smoking weed. I used to smoke cigarettes. Oh my God. I used to smoke like a pack and a half a day. I quit when I was 27. I've been on this journey. I went vegan for a year. I quit meat and chicken for a whole year. But then I got kidney stones because of all the plant stuff that I was eating. And, so that wasn't good. But I think the kidney stones could be coming from like liver stuff or anyway, we're not here for like medical talk. But the vegan stuff was pretty interesting because it's funny. When I stopped eating meat, the thought of meat made me actually sick. Like I was actually nauseated by it. But I love meat. Like I love it. Like I eat ribs and all that stuff. I do not eat veal. Sorry, do not do it. The whole like process of like taking a baby, I think it's like a baby lamb or cow, whatever it is. It's a baby. And then they put it in the small cage and they like scare it and shit like that. Like, no, thank you. I want no part of it. I do not want any part of it. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you you can't eat veal. Do you? I'm not into like telling other people how to live their life. Like you do you, like I'm not going to judge that. Like that was for me. I will never eat veal. It's just like it's unnecessary. Like I just don't need it. I don't need tender meat that was scared, like no thanks. I'm not into it. But have at it if that's what you want. It's like with, like with the Chick-fil-A thing when people were like boycotting Chick-fil-A because of the gay stuff. I just don't give them my money. You could spend your money wherever you want. Like I'm not, but just know, like the reason why it wasn't, people weren't boycotting Chick-fil-A because like they were against gay things. No, they were doing it because that money, they contribute money to like Pray the Gay Away camps, like where kids go, like they try to like conversion therapy for gay kids. So if you want your money going to that, have at it. I personally just don't want my dollars going to that. So, but like I said, like I'm not into like telling people how to live their life or canceling people or boycotting people or no, move on. If you don't like it, move on. If you don't want your money going to the thing that they're contributing to, don't give your money to it. Like I would never boycott it. Oh, because your beliefs are different than mine, so I'm going to boycott you. No. But if your money is going to a place that I don't want my money going to, then I'm not going to give you my money. But like, I'm not going to tell you can't eat it. Like, but I will inform you that that's where your dollar is going. And if you're still okay with that, go for it. That's fine. I can still love you, like I can still, like I said, unless you're physically or sexually abusing somebody, I can still love you, like I feel like not everybody's perfect. Unless you're doing something disgusting like that to somebody, like then I really don't need to have like love for you. But like even like with Jesus always says like love your enemy, love your all that stuff. Like I try to live that, but I have my line. Sexual abuse and physical abuse, I feel like that's my line where I draw. It's like get out of there, like run, like don't be around that. So that's what you have to have some kind of boundary. But yeah, I believe that like I'm not going to tell you what to eat or who to support, but I don't believe in like shutting people down because their beliefs are different than mine. I think that that's terrible, very low vibrating energy. So yeah, addictive behavior. Everyone, we all as humans, I think that there are certain people that are more addicted to things. Like I said, I used to be addicted to love. Oh my God. Obsessed with it. I was like, did you know that there's even a thing you could be addicted to the truth? Like finding the truth. So like when I was younger, like in my 20s, I used to like, if someone wasn't lying to me, like in my head, I would think they were because I was like, I got to uncover this thing. Like, what is it? Like I was like addicted to finding out the truth about things. Addicted to love. I had that. I think that's my Pisces moon, that like addictive behavior, like that needing that thing, like the obsessiveness, the OCD. So I've worked on that. That's all been part of the journey, part of the awakening is like working on that kind of behavior and trying to better myself, trying to get it out of my life. Do I fall back sometimes? Of course, that's part of, humanity. And you can't beat yourself up when you fall back, but you can try. You can try to better yourself. You can try to do better. There's nothing bad in that. And sometimes you're going to fail. Sometimes you're going to go back. One step forward, two steps back. It happens. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's okay. Don't kill yourself over it. Don't beat yourself up. Like, you know what it is? I think with like always wanting happiness or like craving comfort, I used to have this like fear, or I still do. Like, I don't like to feel bad or sad. You know, like I always have this thing. It's like, I want to be having fun. I want to be laughing. I want to be having a good time. I want to feel good. I don't, obviously nobody likes feeling bad or sad, obviously. But like, I used to not like being tired. Like I hated that feeling of being tired. I had to have at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Like I was like, I can't, but then there's days I would have 3 and I was fine. I was actually sometimes more good with 3 hours of sleep than I was with 7 or 8. So those are just fears. Fears, I think, are things that your brain is telling you, you know, or your mind, you know, that your mind is telling you that aren't real. Or it's like a preconceived notion. And fear holds us back. Fear, like I said in the first episode, like with my crusty penny, how I thought it was from a witch and I threw it down the street. Fear will hold you back. Fear will ruin everything. So fear is a big thing to work on. Fear is something to try to eliminate. It's hard, but I think when you have faith, you can then eliminate fear. I think fear is a product of no faith. Fear is like not having faith that things will work out. And that can come from childhood trauma. You know, like for me, like as a little gay kid, like I knew I was gay when I was 8 years old. I used to always fear. I feared that they were going to find out. I feared my family was going to feel embarrassed about me. I feared that that I was going to be an embarrassment or a stain to my family. So I was constantly in fear every day, every day. So that's part of child development, you know? That's your mind. That's your mind. My mind was created to think that something bad was going to happen. So I always had a tough time enjoying stuff. Like when things were good, trust me, I had fun all the time. Like and we'll get to that too. I have a fun little story later, but we'll get to all that. You know what? We'll save it for the main topic. Let's get into my shiny crystal of the week. Okay. We'll get into that later. The shiny crystal of the week is my little baby, Truth. My dog, Truth Thomas Dale the Fifth. That is my boy. He's a Pisces with moon in Gemini. Just the sweetest. And his moon in Gemini is so right because he is so ready for the adventure. He loves being around people. He loves the group. And that little Pisces sun, oh my gosh, he is just, and he has a Cancer rising. Could you die? I mean, Cancer rising, Pisces sun. Oh, he is the sweetest boy. He's this white velvet. I've even had vets say to me, I've never felt a dog that felt like this. Like he feels like cotton. He feels so soft, like satin. Like he literally is from heaven. The day we met, I was looking for a pit bull. I wanted a pit bull. I was looking to adopt because pit bulls for me, I never really I never had a connection with with dogs really. I never really understood the relationship. And when I started babysitting my friends' pit bulls in LA, these dogs were so loving and like little humans, and they've got these little they're like little children brains, and they're so affectionate and they're so needy of love. And that's how I always felt. I always felt I was very needy of love. I love being loved. I love loving. I love being in friendships and family ships and relationships. And pit bulls were like me, just these needing love, just wanting to cuddle and being, they're babies. If you know a pit bull, you know that they're babies. Okay. So I was looking to adopt one, and I went to this place. It was called Bark and Bitches. These women, they're awesome. They go around California and they rescue dogs, and then they have this shop that they adopt the dogs out of, Bark and Bitches. And I went in and I said, I'm looking for a pit bull. And they were like, well, we just got 4 surrender puppies, but they're half beagles. They're pit beagles. The mom was a pit bull and the dad was a neighbor, a beagle, and they were not fixed. So the dog got out, she got pregnant. That beagle must have been a little sexy stud, because pit bull mom, and the beagle, those beagles are bad boys. They are bad boys. Those beagles they are little mischievous little guys. I never had a beagle. I never knew a beagle. I didn't realize that beagles were such adventurous little discoverers. I mean, they are I am so happy I got a pit beagle because he's like this little 35-pound guy, and he nose to the ground all the time. I call him the TSA. Like if you bring a bag, he's sniffing your bag. He wants to know, is there pineapple from Mexico in there? He wants to know, did you claim this? He is up in everything. He's such a nosy little bastard. He's definitely an Italian kid from Long Island, you know, like just out the window looking, hey, what's going on over there? That's my dog. He is a nosy little sucker. Very smart, very aware. But he's my shiny crystal of the week because he really he helps me break my bad habits. Like with my germophobia, when I first got him, I remember I was sitting in my room and he was sitting there next, and he had pooped on the paper and the pad, and there was worms in it. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do this. And they were alive, and they were like, look, dancing at, and I was like, ugh. It looked like spaghetti that was alive. And I was like, I don't think I could do this. And I was like looking at him, and I was like, and I started Googling. Remember I told you don't Google. I started Googling about the worms, and they said humans can get the worms, and then I started Googling more, and then there's a woman who said that the worms came out of her eyes, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is a nightmare. I was like, oh my, worms coming out of my eyes. Like, I love you, but I don't know if I love that much. And I looked at him, and he was looking up at me, and I was like, Bubba, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know. And I just looked at him, and he was looking at me, and I looked at him, and I was like, I love you so much, man. Like, you know what? And I picked him up, I put him on my lap, and I said, if you have worms, then I got worms. And that's when I knew my germophobia was getting cured, because I literally was like okay with the possibility that worms might come out of my eye because I love this little guy so much. I was like, holy shit, this is love. Like, literally, I truly believed, because of Google, that worms were going to possibly come out of my eyeballs. And I still was like, come on my lap, buddy. Let's do this. We're going to have worms together. He's thrown up on me, and I'm like, whatever, wipe it, clean it up. That's love. I have never loved anything more in my life. Like, that is some serious love right there. And we are soulmates. We are truly soulmates. We are on this earth together. He makes people smile. That's one of my favorite things. Like when we're driving and I just see people on the sidewalk just smiling because he's like out the window. So whenever we're walking, if anybody's like, can I pet him? I will never pass up that opportunity. I am like, of course, please. And they're like, everyone says that they're like, there's something about him that makes me feel so calm. He's a very calming presence. So, yeah, Truth is my shiny crystal of the week. If you want to see Truth, he's all over my Instagram, so you can see pictures of him there. He is truly a blessing. All right, so let's get into our celeb big three. So we're going to do today, oh, how perfect is that? That's hilarious. I forgot that I even did. Moon in Gemini, and Truth's moon is in Gemini. Hello. How perfect is that? Jake Gyllenhaal. Whoa, what a stud. So, moon in Gemini, his sun is in Sagittarius. That's a little iffy with boys. Sagittarius girls love you, but Sagittarius boys, sometimes they dance on my last nerve, okay? Sagittarius men, I dated a Sagittarius guy once, and I said I'll never date a Sagittarius again because sometimes they're a little mean, you know? They're a little blunt. Sagittarius men are known for their sharp tongue. I don't need your sharp tongue cutting me up. He was like, I had a pimple, and we were like in front of a group of people, and we were like maybe arguing. He was like, yeah, well, with that pimple on your face. I was like, I'm done. Never again will I date a Sagittarius. You're mean. You're nasty. Sorry. He's my friend now. I love him, but I'm not built for a Sagittarius man. Sagittarius girls I have so much fun with them, and they're free, they're fun, they're loosey-goosey, like funny. We could dance in the streets. Like, I love a Sagittarius female. But Sagittarius boys, your little arrow, your little arch, take it somewhere else, honey. But don't get me wrong. If Jake Gyllenhaal ever wanted to be with me, I would 100% deal with a Sagittarius nasty mouth, okay? Sun, his moon is Gemini, and his rising is Leo. Of course his rising is Leo. With that hair, that gorgeous hair, and that like star quality. No, this is a very interesting, because it's double fire and then that moon in Gemini. You know, you could see it in his eyes. Geminis have these eyes that sometimes are a little close together, but they're beady. Not in a bad way, because he has gorgeous eyes. But Geminis, they have those eyes that are just like, like little robot eyes, like very like beady, like close together. You could tell. And it's funny too, because a lot of other moon and Geminis, we have Jennifer Lawrence, Obama, Khloe Kardashian, and Heidi Klum. They all have those eyes, those very like intense, like little beady eyes. Heidi Klum, I feel like you could see the moon and Gemini in her because she's got that like very fun, lighthearted, like social aspect of her. Heidi Klum is such a moon and Gemini. That I can tell because I have fun. I like her. Like she seems very fun. Khloe Kardashian, I feel like all her stress comes from her moon and Gemini. Like she's always stressing out. I feel like that's her moon and Gemini. And Jennifer Lawrence, I don't know much about Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, she's very intriguing. She's a very like, that's definitely that moon and Gemini again too, because she's a little wacky and like you can't figure her out. But like, you know that Jennifer Lawrence seems like the type of girl, like if you're friends with her, she's the best time ever. But she's got to like open up to you. That's how I feel about her. But yeah, Jakey Gyllenhaal, buddy. Moon and Gemini, rising Leo, sexy. All right, let's get to our main topic. So it's back to the awakening thing. Like I wanted to like continue that a little bit, like about the messiness of awakening, but really it's about breaking the habits. So not everyone is meant to be in an awakening journey. Just remember that too. Like if you're not on an awakening journey, you're fine. Not everyone is meant to be that. There's all different soul purposes. So I asked Charlie, my little chat, remember, my little buddy, I asked Charlie, what are the main soul purpose, like the main soul purposes? Like I remember hearing soul purpose types. I remember it as like 4. I remember there was like 4 or 5, but he gave me like 10. We're not going to go through all 10 because I feel like a lot of them felt very repetitive, but everyone's soul is on their own journey. So if you're not on an awakening journey, remember, it doesn't mean that you're wrong or there's anything that you're missing. It's just not this time for you. Like every life, you have different lives, different journeys for every person. So sometimes you're the healer. Okay, so if you are a healer, you're here to transmute pain, offer compassion, and facilitate healing in others. So what I learned when I read all this stuff here is I connect with a few different ones. And that's why I was like, I feel like this feels like there's way too much information here. Because then there's the teacher. So I feel like a healer. I also feel like the teacher or the messenger. They're here to spread knowledge, truth, spiritual wisdom. Some challenges you might experience as a teacher or messenger is you wrestle with doubt or fear of being misunderstood. So part of what I do. Oh my God, the fear of being misunderstood, I can't stand. I hate it. Especially with my Aquarius rising, I feel I'm often misunderstood. So when I find people that do understand me, I cherish you and I love you. That's why I hope like all of you little crusty cuties, I hope that, we become like this community where you just get me, because I cherish people who get me so much. Because like I said here, the messenger, you often wrestle with doubt of being misunderstood. Then you have the warrior soul's journey. Okay, I'm definitely not the warrior soul's journey. I'm not a fighter. I'm not looking to like, those people are here to bring justice, defend the vulnerable, or catalyze transformation through action. I like to defend the vulnerable, but this feels more like, because then your challenges as a warrior, anger, burnout, becoming overly rigid. I don't have an anger thing. So that I wouldn't connect with, but many of you I'm sure do. Then you have the artist or creator. That's another journey. That one I connect to as well. See, that's why I think you can connect to many different journeys. I don't think your soul is just one journey. It's not like a one-way street. I think your soul has a few different journeys, and that's what I think this is explaining. So as an artist or creator, your purpose is to channel divine energy through creativity and inspiring others. Love that. I'm here for that. Challenges, you might feel misunderstood or struggle with self-worth. Again, too, hello, there's the misunderstood thing again. Ooh. All right. Then you have the caregiver or the nurturer. Okay. I'm a nurturer. I don't know if I'm a caregiver. Not because I don't care, but because I just, because I'm a good caregiver. Like I'm very good at the sense of like, I instinctually feel what you need, but like gory stuff or like changing diapers or clean or like changing a bed, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know. I mean, I think like nurses and people like that, like they're special, they're caregivers. That's like a special soul's purpose because like not everyone has the stomach for it. Like here's why I'm not a good caregiver, because I feel bad for people who are in pain, or I feel bad for people who are suffering. So it would be hard for me to be a good caregiver if I'm like feeling terrible or I'm sad or I feel like, like some people go into nursing and they're not meant to, because then they're like every day they're like crying or suffering. A vet, I could never be a vet, like literally zero chance. I wouldn't even mistakenly become a vet. There's no way I could do that. See sick animals and people having to put their animals down. Nope. That's what I mean. Some people are built for it. There you go. You're not everything. So that was interesting. So that's the thing too. Your soul is not meant to be in one purpose, and your soul is not meant to be for every purpose. So like I said, if you're not connecting with someone else's journey, you have to find what your journey is. You have to find what your connection is. You have to live your truth. You have to live your light. You're not going to be, not like I said, not everyone's here to awaken. Some people are here to help others awaken. Some people are here to be catalysts. So there's all different, there's all different, and then it's your purpose. It's your responsibility to figure out what it is exactly. Also, when you're on the awakening journey, you hit like an isolation period. So there's like an isolation era that a lot of us have been in that the past 5 years. I think pandemic pushed that. I think that the quarantine, I think that people changing their lives, me changing career pushed the isolation thing, because I was in a comedy career where my community was full, constant, always alive. And then in the mediumship career, it's me one-on-one with people. And that's funny, I said fully alive, and then the mediumship is with dead people and psychic stuff. So, but anyway, so that was more isolating. That was more, that was more intimate, but not a lot of people. But I also think I was meant to go through the isolation period because I was awakening and I was changing a lot about myself. I was cocooning. I was going to be the butterfly. So when you're in that, you learn a lot. I think you're supposed to isolate, because when you're around people or you're in a group, you're being influenced, which you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be in community. Community is so important for human beings. Community is everything. So hear this. I need you to hear this. A lot of you, since pandemic, since quarantine, have been going through a lonely period. Your mental health might be suffering. There's things that are going on that you're struggling with. Besides the awakening part of it, besides the change, you may have changed careers, it's isolation. Do not isolate for too long. You got to be in community. You have to be around people. We literally are born hardwired to connect. That is what we are here to connect with other people. That's why there are tribes. That's why there are neighborhoods. That's why people have parties and dance and celebrate together. You have to be, it's so important for your health, for your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. You have to be around community. When you're in a group with people, when you have friends, you bounce ideas off each other. I learned here that it lowers cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone in your body that is triggered so that you can motivate, or you can run, or you can, it gives you stress even, because so that you feel like, oh, it's like when danger's around, you got to go. That's cortisol. So when you're in a group and when you're with people, it lowers your cortisol. So if you've been isolating and you haven't been with with a lot of people or groups like you normally were, like before 2020, your cortisol is probably high. You need to be around people. It's so important. I love the group. I've always loved a group. I've always loved being with friends and being with people. When I was a little kid, I was running groups, because I didn't like kickball in elementary school. I hated kickball. I didn't want to play with the boys. I was always picked last on the wall because I'm not very athletic. Because I don't care about it. I think athleticism is great, but you have to care. You have to want to be athletic. You have to want to win the game. If you don't really care about winning the game or doing the thing, you're not going to find your athleticism, So I would create other games for us to play. I don't want to play kickball. So I was like, you know what? We're going to have our own group. We would play Nightmare on Elm Street. I would tell all my friends to make their own dream sequence. Oh yeah. I was like, I was always the last girl, the final girl. I always survived, because I had to come back for the next, for part 2. But I always said, make up a dream sequence, Figure out how you're going to die, how it's going to. Oh, yeah, I used to love it. I would be in the pool. I would be like pretending Freddie was pulling me under, and I'd be like, and I'd have my hands thrashing out of the water. Oh, yeah, I was a little drama queen as a kid. But that was fun. You bet your ass that after a while, those boys playing kickball, they used to be like, what's Thomas got going on over there? I used to like do weddings, and I would cast people. You're the priest, you're the bride. I was always the groom, but I always had a different bride. Even though I was a little gay kid, I still like to be the groom and have all my brides. You're the maid of honor, you're the best man. I casted everybody. The boys loved it. They were like, I want to play too. Before you knew it, kickball was like so lame, and everyone was like totally in my group. So I love a group. Cannot stress it enough. Be with people. It's so important. It is so, so important. But yeah, that is part of, this is part of the awakening, is changing your behaviors, breaking your bad habits. But don't beat yourself up when you make a mistake or you fall behind. Changing bad habits is part of growth, and it doesn't happen easily. Okay? You're meant to push through. You're meant to change to better yourself. All right, so let's go with our manifesting moment today. Today we are going to manifest strength and change to let go. So this week we're going to focus on strength and change to let go. So just feel peace right now in your body. Keep telling yourself you can do it. You will have the strength. You can let go. If you let go, it's not going to hurt you. Letting go is having faith. Letting go means you don't have to control everything. Letting go gives you a break. And the universe will give you the strength this week. You watch, you see. If you connect today and you feel the strength, the universe is going to provide that. Thank you. Final thought. So, give yourself grace. All we can do is try. And even when you're not trying, it's okay because you're human. You aren't a robot. Those periods of not trying are just your body saying, I need a rest from caring. Or it's your soul saying, I need to feel this deeper, so I might ruin or sabotage things just enough to show me a path. Don't compare yourself to others because it's pointless. Don't regret for too long because it's a waste of energy. And don't judge because nobody is perfect. When you catch yourself judging other people or gossiping about other people, check yourself. Stop yourself. Say, ooh, that's gross. That's low vibrating energy. Like, why am I talking poorly about this person? Why am I so amazing and so perfect that I think I can say these bad things about this person? No, nobody is perfect. Nobody is meant to judge. So check yourself. All right, my little crusty cuties, we are done for today. Thank you for being back. Thank you for being here. Again, follow all the socials. Subscribe to the page, Taurus55 on YouTube. All the Crusty Crystal episodes will be there. You can also download on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But please comment and share also. Comment, share, like it. That helps generate, the momentum of the show. All right. Thank you again. Thank you at Florid Media. We love you guys. Have a great week.